Hello again, whiskey friends. Hey, thanks for joining everybody for another Whiskey Wednesday. Gonna have some fun tonight. Kelsey is not going to be here tonight, so Durell and I are going to hold down the ship, and we're going to do something unique tonight. We're actually going to review some whiskey samples live as we catch up on some samples that many people have been very generous in giving us here. So really appreciate when we get those samples, chance to try something new. Some of these I've never even heard of before, so I'm going to need the help of chat to fill in some of the details. We are going to go into some of these completely blind. We are also going to be celebrating the Eagles win with Durell tonight. You know, with this win, we have now predicted 3 years in a row the Super Bowl winner based on our Super Bowl show with the average drinker. So Durell and Kelsey won last week, 2 weeks ago. Eagles went on to win the Super Bowl. So Durell's going to be coming into this with a really good mood. So thank you for joining today, whiskey friends. Let's kick off the show. So Durell, as you come in and tell everyone hi, I am quite curious. What was your Eagles celebration pour?
Oh man. So it's funny. Cheers, everybody. Go Eagles, go Birds. How we like to say it. So celebration pour. I was actually on a video call with my sister. They live out in Philly. So her, my brother-in-law, my niece and nephew, diehard Eagles, even though they probably don't know. One's 5 and one's 1. But yeah, she popped some champagne and I just went and grabbed the bottle because I actually didn't have a drink until that point. But I went and grabbed the ECBP C919 that I've been putting a hurting on from Ed, Secret Santa. The bottle is literally halfway gone, which is kind of crazy. But it's only that much gone because I had a backup that arrived or was in the process of arriving, not knowing that he had gotten me that as a gift. So that was my reason for just kind of diving into it a little bit more than I normally would.
So you're like, I got 2 of these, I can just enjoy
it. Yeah.
Man, C919 though, how did that live up to prior, memories of it? Now that you got to get into it again and get into it quite deeply, though.
It's every bit as good as I remember. For modern batches, like A119, C919, and A117 are my 3 favorite. I can maybe toss up A119 and C919, but like I've done it a couple times and the A batch beat it, but the C batch is just still so good, so good. But yeah, that was my little celebratory pour, man.
No.
Watching the Eagles stomp surprisingly Kansas City. I didn't think it was going to be anything like that, but I was happy with the result.
We were talking about it last night a little bit, and people were wondering, oh, was it, if you're not an Eagles fan, I bet it was a boring game. And I was like, you know what? I got to admit, it was a little cathartic to watch the Chiefs get stomped. Especially after that first BS call when the pass interference on that 4th down. Like, as soon as that happened, there was just blood in the water at this point. Like, gosh darn it, it's still happening. And everyone was just in that moment. And then there was a makeup call, like, on the next drive. But then it was just like by that point, it was already set in. Like, we're just out for blood. Let's
No, but it was good times, man.
Well, why don't you scroll up and say hi to some people here. Yeah, we got 28 people in here so far.
Wise guy Stu. Eagles! Yes, sir.
We'll talk about Stu. We'll talk about Stu later.
Fantastic comment. Yeah, man. And me and Stu are battling tonight on Jason's Blendageddon. Me, him. I don't even know. Those are the only 2 I honestly know. I think, what is it? Darren Clary, I think, is in my bracket as well.
He is.
And I can't remember who else, but that should be interesting. I know Stu's blend is really, really good. Actually, everybody's is pretty good, right? Being that they made it, so I'm a little nervous. I told Jason, as long as I'm not the first glass eliminated today, I'm happy with the progress. So that's my goal. Make it past the first glass, and if I get eliminated and don't make the finals, that's fine. But made a deep run at it, man, and I'm kind of anxious for people to see kind of how simple it was to an extent.
Oh, not Darren, Adam Dorman. So correction.
Oh, Adam, okay.
Jason's lurking here. He's
fact checking
me on the spot
here. So let me get through some of these. Top Dog is here as well. Cheers to you, sir. Sugar Kitty, Tim Corney, the best Turk of them all. Katie's here. Cheers to you. Let's see, Mr. Marty. Seen you yesterday with Mr. Scott hanging, tasting through some whiskey. Cheers, buddy. Cooler Runnings here.
Hey, Cool Running.
Scroll. Ben Drammond. Cheers, everyone. Got the Hard Truth poured, ready to go. I'm jealous.
Yes.
I arrived, but it's a state over, and I wanted to coordinate today, and I just couldn't do it, man. So I got to try to figure out a time to get down there. Peter B is here. Cheers to you, man. That Hard Truth. Let me know what you think, Ben. I know it's starting to trickle in everybody's hands now, but I know we love it, but really curious to what you guys think. And give honest opinions, man. If you don't like it, shoot. We didn't make the whiskey. You know what I mean? We might have chose it, but if you don't like it, tell us you don't like it. Because I don't know if I've honestly, when somebody granted, you don't really want to shit on a pick, but I don't think I've ever seen somebody's yeah, this pick's not good. Regardless of who picked it, you know what I mean? I don't know if they're just nervous to say it's not good or whatever the case is, but you know what I mean? We didn't distill the whiskey, so if you honestly don't care for it much, let us know. Doug Pop is here. We're going to be tasting through a couple of your things that you sent us, Doug. Cheers to you, buddy. Who else is here? Top Jimmy. Good evening, all. Cheers to you. Doc, fly, Eagles, fly. Yes, sir. Cheers, buddy. Henry Turner, good win for the Eagles, my friend. I think he was rooting for the Chiefs over there. I think he has to actually become an Eagles fan. Is that what I see?
He's acknowledging.
Oh, Full-Leaf Whiskey. Eagles, congrats. Spelling it some of the fans that seem like they're dyslexic. I don't know if you've seen any of those videos, man, but
the ELG SES and all those type of misspellings because the mayor. Yeah, that was so funny.
I'm what?
I almost did that on the thumbnail. I almost put celebrating Eagles and then wanted to spell it wrong just to see if anyone.
That's funny. Carol is here. Cheers to you, buddy. What do you say? KC Chiefs for life. A good one for the Eagles. I got you, buddy. Hey, we ride or die, win or lose, man. I was riding hard 2 years ago when you guys beat us. Andrew, cheers, buddy. We got to get together again, Andrew, man. I know you're relatively close, but we got to try to make something happen when this weather starts getting nice. Slapshot is here. Good evening. Cheers to you. Jay. Nope, not Darren. Yep. Shoot, man. I'm nervous, Jay. Top Dog. Who else? Who else am I missing? Yep. Adam Dorman. Going up against the champ tonight. Good luck, Wise Guy still in Durell. Good luck to you, sir. Good luck. Who else is here? I think we're almost caught up. Hopper? No, Hooper. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, Hooper. Cheers. That's a new one. I don't know if I've seen you in here, buddy. Cheers.
I haven't. Welcome, buddy.
SoCal Jake is here. Mike Franklin is here, and we are caught up.
Oh, that is awesome. Yeah, Durell can't partake yet, but if you got it in, hey, time to have a pour here. Love to hear some notes in chat as you go through this, as Durell said. Also, probably in 2 weeks' time, we'll do an overtime and do a tasting of this too. By then, more people will have the bottle in their hands, and we can kind of get together and enjoy it. If anyone is enjoying a neck pour tonight, I will say there is off the neck for some reason. And Durell, when you get yours, see if you have the same experience. There's a darker brown sugar note that wasn't there initially, and it does go away strangely as you let that bottle settle and then the fruits bloom. But it threw me off. It threw Dusty off on Monday night because he cracked it and he's like, that doesn't taste like I remember. And then by like the second or third pour in, because he decided that he got addicted to it, then it started, like, all the fruits started coming. And I had the exact same experience yesterday when I cracked it open. So I was texting him on that one.
I don't remember much like brown sugar on it. It was just so like bright and citrus forward, that tangerine, the peach.
Yeah.
You know, it's
and
just
that's
super,
how it is
super
now.
bright. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's already like that.
Yeah. They got some special stuff, dude. Like I keep saying it. Like, I'll be really curious what their whiskey tastes like when it's like 6 to 7 years old, man. Because the best thing I've ever had from them is a 2-year-old rye whiskey. You know, and now it's just progressively getting older. And they said they don't have any, what was the word? Basically, no reason to go back, right? They're just going to keep continuing to age it until like maybe like 7 years, it's going the wrong way. Then they'll just keep it at like that point. But yeah, they're just going to keep letting it get older and older, man. And 2 years being like some crazy, crazy special whiskey. And, you know, now I think we're approaching like 5-year-old stuff, I believe, 4 years, right? 5.
We're at 5. We'll be at 6 by the end of this year. So
yeah,
it's going to be awesome.
And they got some bourbons coming out, guys. Wait till you taste some of those single barrel bourbons that probably come out this year. Jeez Louise. Roman caught it. Giants fan here, but fans of Barkley and Hurt since college, and congrats. Yeah, man. That was Giant. Yeah, the Giants were crazy for letting him go, man. That GM, you guys got to get rid of him. If they don't make the playoffs this year, he'll probably be gone anyway. But like, you got to make some good moves. You had a good draft this year, and I don't mind the Giants. I don't like Dallas, but I don't mind the Giants or Washington.
Are you only saying that since Kelsey's not here?
No, dude, my dad's a diehard Dallas fan, and we're like always back and forth. Like, I'm from Texas too, but he was born and raised in Texas, man, and he's been a Dallas fan all his life. And for me, it's just never been Dallas ever. But yeah, it's funny. He'll call me every game that they play. So the 2 times that they play, then he called me on the Super Bowl just to wish me good luck. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't dislike the players. I just dislike the team. The team. I don't know, man. Diehard Eagles over here. Man.
Mark's hopping in here. He just got off the neck. Yeah.
Nice.
Man.
Cooked citrus, dry peach candy. I think we got a little bit of that peach ring when we were doing it. For me, like, I got peach and a lot of like tangerine, like bright citrus, man. From what I remember, I haven't tasted it since the sample that we had a couple weeks back, but
that's the range it lives in. Dried apricots, dried peach, getting into that little bit of a citrus note then too. But yeah, the fruits on that all live in that range.
Nice.
So still available on Sealbach, everybody. I think last time I checked, now we're down to like 45. So started out with 222. So we're getting there. So if you are interested in that hard truth, don't sleep too much longer. I do have a feeling as it gets in people's hands, the rest will get gobbled up in some carts here soon.
Yeah. I think a little people were just a little reserved until they try it. But once you try it, it's definitely backup worthy in my opinion. You know, and it's not because we picked it. It's really, really good. And I'll be shocked if somebody doesn't like it. But like I said, be honest. If you don't, you don't. 17 hard truth vibes. Yes. Yeah. A couple of mine are in there. Yeah, we got a
bulk order.
Yeah.
I'm sure Sealbach loved you for that one. I'm sure your wife loved you for that one too. Was all that just shows up. Hey, here's 70 pounds of whiskey to bring.
Hey, when they only charge you one time for shipping, man, freaking consolidate. You know?
Oh man. Lovely pour. I'm gonna go back to that. Gosh, I love that hard truth.
So I got a couple samples here too. Yeah.
I might have to order some myself here. Yeah, let's pour one here. Now, everyone in chat.
We need some help. I don't know.
I have a question to ask, and this is going to drive Durell crazy. But do you prefer this view that you see right here, right now, where we have all of this space around us, but we're full squares, or this view when we take up the whole screen and we're side by side, shoulder to shoulder. I need the chat to vote on this one. I am in camp full screen. Durell is in camp full angle, or however you want to describe the other one. So which one? This one?
This is just too bad.
Or this one?
Much better.
Zoom in.
I can actually see what's going on in my house.
Ooh.
Original view, Joe the sample guy. Smaller view, Stu. That's 2-1. We win.
Thrasher's on my side.
No polls.
I know Jason hates this view too. He's talked about that before as well. He hits that button on accident. He's like, "Oh, what did I do? Get that off of there."
Top Dog said smaller. Look at that.
Oh.
All right. Get out of here, Todd. Fired.
I don't know if I can disobey the executive producer.
Ooh, shoot.
All right. That's enough original views. Not this one.
Nice.
Okay. I get
not this one. There we go.
They don't like our zoomed in faces. I'm going to try not to take offense on that, everybody.
See, I can zoom in with my camera and still have the wide view. Like, I don't mind the dead space. But we just figure out a way
my head's too big for the zoom. I see how it is.
Yeah, dude. See, like, I can just
I'll not take offense, you know. You're just too close for comfort on that full view. I see how it is. All right. So we're going to hop into one here. We actually need some details in chat. So we're coming into this one 100% blind. This is a sample coming from Doug. So thank you, Doug. Whiskey Tree Wheated Bourbon, Batch 1, 100 proof. So if anyone knows anything about Whiskey Tree Wheated Bourbon, put it up in chat for us. That'll help us as we go through this. But we are going to go into this completely blind, and we're going to see how we like it. So if you've had this before, don't spoil what you think of it yet. Just asking for technical details or where it's from and all that type of thing. But I've never heard of Whiskey Tree.
Is it their own stuff too? Like, if Doug's still in here, let us know, buddy. Is this their own stuff? I'm curious. Like, I've literally never heard of
Doug.
Whiskey Tree.
So I'm going to do half of it.
No, Doug was in here earlier. I said hello.
Oh, was he in here?
Yeah.
Missed him.
Yeah. I'm not like big on wheated bourbon, so I'll be curious to see if this like kind of sways me the other way. Like, I don't really dislike them. I've just never went out of my way to purchase them. I've never found like one outside of William LaRue that kind of like blew me away. So I did take a sneak nose like 30 seconds ago and was pleasantly surprised. Actually, I don't want to say pleasantly because I didn't know what to expect, but
I'm getting a very particular note out of this. Oh, we forgot Durell. In honor of Eagles' win, Durell is putting up a bottle for super chats, everybody. So Durell, why don't you tell people what you're kind of celebrating with here? Shouldn't surprise anybody on this one.
It's a little different than what we normally give away in terms of the actual distillate, but it's a brand that's near and dear to me, that's kind of near and dear to these guys after they tasted some stuff that I sent out. But yeah, a local store of mine had a few old bottles sitting on the shelf, so I kind of snagged a few, sent a few to a couple people, but we're going to be giving away a Foursquare. This is the 2005. So distilled in 2005, bottled in 2017, 12-year ex-bourbon. So if anybody's familiar with Foursquares, the ones that just say like a date is always going to be 12-year ex-bourbon. Some of the other ones are different colors and different names, are like double finishes and stuff. But these ones are always 12-year distilled on the year that you see on the front of it. So this is an older one. It's an 8-year-old, you know, it's released 8 years ago. So it's not one of the newer releases. And that is probably one of my favorite. The 04, the 05, Touchstone, and probably Redoubtable in terms of what I have here. And I got probably like 20 different variations in batches. But that one's really, really good.
Whiskey BS has a question.
They label
them exceptional cast when they're the numbers. Yeah.
Yeah, so right to the side, which let me see if you can pick it up. Whoops, gotta put it that way.
Yep.
But yeah, right to the
Right there.
side,
You got it.
exceptional gas. But yeah, one of the early ones. The bottle right before this, the 05, didn't even actually have. No, sorry, the 04, which I'll show you guys really quick. It's funny. That's how old this one is. The year prior, like if you look, they kind of switched it up. And this actually is a twist off. It doesn't even have a cork, right? So the bottle's similar. It's still a different shape. Like this one's more wider in a sense, but yeah, a little screw top, man, on it. Then they switched to corks the following year. Oh, it's funny actually. So I recant my statement of the ones being 12 years. This is the only one that I've seen that's 11 years actually. Ex-bourbon.
Might depend on when it came out. You know,
this
that
was released
year,
in
whatnot.
2015. So this was distilled in, well, obviously 2004, but yeah, 11-year-old. But all the other ones since then have been 12 years.
Oh, people are still gushing over the hard truth over here.
Is that what you're nosing right now?
You know, Ben, we originally described it as an apricot off of the original samples, but man, it morphed into a peach. There was a moment where I started getting peach, and once that hit my head, it never left. I mean, not that there's that big of a distance between an apricot and a peach, but why don't we get nerdy about it?
See, Adam Dorman makes Foursquare. There you go.
On the nose on this one, there's a fruit that I'm getting. What fruit are you getting? I'm curious now, before I put the thought in your head.
Just on the nose, right?
Yeah.
If I was to choose a fruit, and it is fruity, like it almost comes across as like a green pear that's just kind of been sitting out a bit for me. Like I kind of have like a little apple pie, but like more of a pear.
So I'm not too far off from that. I went more of the melon route with like a honeydew. But I can see the green pear too.
Yeah, it's more like the pear's been sitting for a little bit, not like super juicy. Like so it's not like that juicy pear vibe, like no, but it's like pearish to me.
All right.
But I can see where you're going with like honeydew.
Cheers, Michael. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
and that is a new name. So cheers, buddy. Thank you for getting in here tonight. And we do apologize if you do win, because that will probably happen, because it's happened to all of us that Durell has shared Foursquare with.
Yeah, like Foursquare is on another level when it comes to rum. Man, it's good stuff. Really good stuff. And if you like bourbon, like it drinks like one, you know. If you drink a lot of rum, you could probably tell it's rum, but for bourbon drinkers that probably never had Foursquare and you threw this into a flight with maybe like some finished whiskey, it would definitely fool them, because I've done it to numerous bourbon drinkers and not one person has thought it was a rum originally, unless they've had rum before. Well, rum, this type of rum before, should I say. Thrash is in too. Did you get that? Not the biggest rum guy, but I'm always down for some Foursquare. So have you had Foursquare Thrasher? That's the question. Because I'm not really digging the rum outside of that. Okay.
But yeah, I do think this one of all of them, aged in ex-bourbon casks helps a lot, but it really does bridge the gap. I mean, we've fooled a lot of people giving them Foursquare and blinds and them thinking it's rum till the very end.
Did Adam Dorman say over here? Bourbon. Did you get the four? Yeah, I have the Shibboleth. That's one of the more recent ones that came out maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. Actually, no, not. What am I talking about? Like maybe 2 years ago, if that. I don't think it has been that long, because they do like 3 or 4 releases a year. I think it was probably like 2023, end of 2023 on that one.
Let's get into this.
Bacardi on the islands. It's definitely not Bacardi, but If you like Bacardi, you'll definitely like this. All right, so I'm gonna taste this whiskey tree. What are you nosing? You're still nosing whiskey tree, right?
Yeah, I haven't taken a sip yet. I did just pull up the website, and I've been seeing this label around recently. Now that I'm seeing this here. Okay.
So
I'll
you're
try not to
familiar with
read that. That
label?
way we're not biased. But now I know what it is. All right. Well, cheers. Let's get into this thing, buddy.
Cheers.
All right. Cheers, everybody in chat. Thinking.
That's interesting. That actually drinks really nice.
Yeah.
And it's something about it that kind of reminds me of the like the Red Label Four Roses single barrel that they just dropped. It's something towards the tail end of the palate that has a similar note or a couple similar notes to that, which is kind of nice. But that actually drank pretty good. I'm a little wary sometimes with wheat because I don't do wheated bourbons like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah,
I said,
it's
outside
nice.
of William LaRue, it's been up in the air.
It's nice and inviting. I'm trying to think what the main flavor note is. I mean, I continue to kind of get that honey realm. I was saying honey do off the nose. I mean, there's quite a bit of honey there.
Cheers, Top Jimmy. Drink a rum before 10 a.m. Make sure another alcoholic. All right. He's in for 4.
Yeah.
We got Grape Shot. He's in for 4 as well. Whiskey BS. I've never found a Foursquare, so would love to win this. Thanks for the shot. Whiskey BS, you have.
All right.
So email me, buddy. Durell Stewart. Actually, you can do The Whiskey Saint. So thewhiskeysaint@gmail. Email me. I can set you up with something, buddy. If you don't, we'll see. If you win this, you're good. If you don't, email me. I got a lot of stuff that you can try, and I think you'll probably enjoy it a lot.
All right.
But this is actually pretty good. Not sure if Doug's still here. I didn't see him pop back up, but yeah, 400 proof too. It's like sticking to the glass, man. It's like hanging right at the middle of this glass. So I'm not sure
Cheers,
what
Mojo.
Entry proof is, or if this is even proof down much. You know what I mean? But from the flavors that are on it, I don't think that it's probably proof down that much to be at 100.
So we don't know the price yet. We'll pull it up here. I mean, all in all, I'd probably grade this one around like an 80. It's just a nice, solid pour. And I'm just getting just some nice, inviting flavors. There's no real oak on it, but there's no youth either. So it's right in between. I'm just getting honey and graham cracker. And I don't know. It's just bright around that. It's not distinct from a flavor profile perspective. Maybe still going back to that honeydew.
I don't know what that note is, but it really reminds me of that Four Roses.
I could see that.
Just on the tail end of the palate, not so much like the front. And I don't think I would mistake it for Four Roses, but there's a couple notes that are very, very close.
So here it is here. So this is the whiskey tree. I've been seeing this lately. Looks like this is double oak too. I don't think I would have known that either. That's interesting. Maybe that's what kind of flattens the weeded part of it, though. Like it doesn't come across as a weed. I wonder if that's why.
Tamed it down a bit, yeah. Because I don't get that doughiness that I usually get on like some wheat bourbons and wheated whiskeys.
Looks like it's a blend here of Indiana and New Orleans. I'm not surprised to see the Indiana then, because that's probably primarily what I get. Is what I associate with the Indiana profile. It says it drinks like a cognac.
I
don't know about that.
So I love me some cognac.
They're going the route you went.
Pear tart. Yeah, I had like apple initially, but yeah, more so that pear.
And then that white blossoms. Then that's probably the combination of things I'm picking up on. All right, that's good overall. How much is this though? Let's see. Let's go into the buy here. $80.
No, that's not terrible. It doesn't say anything about age. But
right.
I wouldn't think it's super young, but I wouldn't think it's really old either. You know, I would forward up probably like 6, maybe 7 max, I think. Yeah. But
it's good.
It doesn't really taste young to me, which is nice.
No, it's a really good blend. Oh, did I just see
a couple more super chats in here?
Oh, Nancy. Oh, it's a Nancy blend.
Oh, is it?
That starts to make sense.
So that when we were backstage, I kind of mentioned, I was like, is this I thought it was the Texas thing that she was doing with like Whiskey Tribe for a minute. Because I remember hearing something, and that maybe that's what I was confusing. And maybe that's why it's pretty decent. Yeah. She's still, find a way to blend like a weeded bourbon that I like. Like, this is actually good. You're not just saying it because we know it's her now. We said it before that.
Yeah, the only thing would be the price. I'd be interested in trying it cast strength.
Yeah.
$80 might be a little high for me. I'd probably be more comfortable about 60. But as you said, it kind of compares to something maybe like those Four Roses single barrels that are 100 proof. It's like a step above that in my mind, which those are what, $50?
Yeah, those
that's
are $49.99.
Blending some MGP, I'm gonna like it. All right. Tom, cheers, buddy. Never had Foursquare. Man, we've got a lot of people that never had before. They're getting into this. Apologies in advance.
It's definitely fun introducing like bourbon drinkers into Foursquare, man. It's like I said, when I had one, it was bad. Notes by Nancy. Did she blend it?
Dude, it totally said that right in the middle of the screen, Mark. Tasting notes by Nancy Fraley. I totally missed that. She wrote that description.
Oh, did it? It was. I didn't even see it.
I didn't even see it either. I went right over it. It says it right on the middle of the screen.
Nice.
All right, Adam's in.
Take it easy on me and blend again. Hey, man, you guys gotta take it easy on me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the one that has to like try to do well again. Like, everybody else is like, like for me, like I would love to make it to the finals again, but like I told Jay, as long as I'm not the first class eliminated, I'm happy. Sorry, I had to take a work. No worries, buddy. We were diving into the whiskey tree.
Got into half of the whiskey tree there. Thank you, Doug. I'm gonna keep the other half, and I'm gonna grade that in the score sheet later. Well, you know what? We just turned this into a Nancy flight, unknowing, because our second pour.
Next, right?
Yeah, let's pour a little bit of that. Let it air. So the next we're gonna do Murray Hill Club. So Doug sent us batch 18. That's 103 proof. I tried Murray Hill Club very, very early in my whiskey journey, and it didn't hit me right at the time that I tried it. And I'm very curious to see what happens now. I think at the time, if I'm correct on this, I think this is a blend of bourbons and light whiskeys, or maybe the batch that I had back then was. Somebody clarify that in chat of exactly what distinguishes Murray Hill Club from other releases. I thought it was the light whiskey, but I remember this would probably have been 2019-ish. I don't know how far back this dates back, but something about it hit me wrong. And ever since, I've been wanting to go back to it. So when Doug sent that sample, I was like, yes, finally get to try it again. I have tried some of the LEs. I just haven't tried the regular batches since then.
That's the only thing I tried. It was just that one LE, the newest Calvados batch. And I do remember it being good. I know a lot of people really, really loved it, but I had a lot to drink the day that I did try it. So I'm not sure how good it was. But outside of that, never had a Murray Hill Club. So this is going to be the first time trying one of these. So curious on that. Likewise, when I grabbed those triple cast Magnus like the other month, that was the first time I've ever had those too. I've only had like cigar batches, so kind of branched out a little bit. Had the Fox and Odin, right? Is that that's Magnus too, right?
Fox and is that in the same family? I don't know. Let us know in chat here.
MGP. I thought it was the Magnus line. I could be mistaken, but no, it is the Magnus
I've
line.
yet to have any of those.
The Magnus line. The Fox and Odin we had at Pours in the Park. The second Pours in the Park, they had that. They had it.
Oh, did we?
With the at one of the tables.
Yeah. I wonder if that's the amongst the bottles that Nancy brought then, or the ones that she put out there, if that was the case.
No, it was a rep. He had that. I think he had like this Magnus triple cast. I think it was like a Magnus rep, or I could be mistaken, but I know the Fox and Oak because that was the first time I tried it, the double oak, and they were telling me it was like 12 to like 16-year-old MGP, and I was like, what the heck? Like really old stuff in that bottle, and those things are kind of killer. She say the Murray Hill special release batch 4 was better than Russell's 15.
Mark with a hot take.
Them by side. I know how much I love the Russell's 15, so it would be really tough for that to beat it. But like I said, I do remember that Murray Hill being good, but I had a lot of whiskey that night, so it's kind of unfair for me to kind of judge the two. But the Russell's is kind of crazy. We'll see if it wins our tournament, man. I got a dark horse. Like, as much as I love that, like, there's a couple whiskeys, man, that I found to be just as good, if not better. So we shall see what the guys think when we start diving into that in a couple weeks.
Oh.
Actually, no, shit. Next week. Right?
That'll be next week. So next week, everybody, we are kicking off our blind tournament. We drafted all of our favorite bottles of the year. There are 20 bottles in this blind tournament. Now, one of the things that we did last year is we set it up as like an NCAA bracket. The issue was we quickly understood where we were in the bracket as soon as we were able to guess one pour. So once we knew what one distinct pour was in the blind, we knew what the blind was because we knew what the competition was. So what we did this year was we completely blinded all of it. So each week, one of the number 1 seeds and one of the number 2 seeds will be in the flight, but the other 3 samples are completely random amongst the rest of the field. So any given time, we don't even know what the number 1 seed that we'll be drinking even is. We don't know what it's up against. It's just as blind as we can make it to try to trick ourselves. And then each week for the next 4 weeks, we're going to have a special guest to help us judge those as well and see which ones end up in the final. So that's going to be, generally speaking, what our content on the lives is going to be for the next month and a half. And if you're in the Patreon group, be sure to check out a post that I did, and I can repost it. I know it's a pain in the butt, and thank you everybody who's endured the dumb way that Google Forms made me set that up. But there is a pick 'em or a rank 'em game in there. Free to play. Just go in there and do it. Just the fact that you have to endure that form is enough of an entry fee. But we will be doing some prizes just like last year based on the ranking. So what you're trying to do is say what pours you think will score the most points by the end of it. And depending on how you rank them and where the ranks come in at the end, you get more points or less points. And we'll put up the standings each week too. So we'll have some extra fun with that thing.
Nice.
I love this nose. Have you been getting into this thing?
I knows it, and I'm just like, yeah. It's like it's old school MGP, not old school MGP, but it's more of the older vibe of MGP for me.
Yeah, it is.
2 more entries for Top Jimmy the Man. Okay, appreciate you, Marty. Ben is asking,
all right,
when
Top
is the
Jimmy. All right.
Yeah, 2 more for
the
Top
bracket.
Jimmy.
I'll need the brackets in by Tuesday. I'll put out an official message on that, but we will be kicking off next Wednesday live, implying I can get everything to work because next week on next Wednesday, we're doing a pick at Bardstown with Marty. Get to see Marty next week. Dusty Dan, the Turks, Adam Shelton will be there. Eric will be there. We have a good crowd. And we're doing a pick at Bardstown, then going to Owensboro, staying the night, and then doing a pick at Green River the next day. So when we get to that Airbnb, as long as everything works, we're going to be doing that live. And then I was kind of joking around last night with everybody that one of them has to be our special guest, but maybe we'll have them draw straws. in order to see who's the special guest. Though they did flip it on me and they acted like it was a punishment. And none of them actually wanted to join us. So we'll see who the loser of Drawing Straws is.
That's funny. Independent Joe. Cheers, buddy. I'm gonna go in for a sip. Like, this nose is like the epitome of like MGP from like 5-6 years ago for me. I'm not
This
sure
old,
when that
you know,
was or where they're at now, but this smells like the oldest stuff.
Yeah, it's old 10-year MGP. Still got that lower proof vibe. It's almost like if you were smelling a younger version of like the Remus Gatsby edition or something like that. Like if you were smelling Remus Gatsby at 10 years, that kind of smells like that.
Dude, have you had a haystack needle that wasn't finished? Like the 12-year bourbons or like those ones?
Yeah. Remind you of that at 110 proof kind of thing? I can see that too. All right.
It's that same,
let's get into this thing.
That same profile at MVP.
Wait, I forgot somebody when I talked about everyone at the pick. Top Dog will be there too. Really glad that I had this Glen in my hand because then I would have felt really bad for forgetting about you, John. Oh, yeah, it's lovely. Okay.
Oh my God. Dude, that's wow, that's good. That's really good.
I wonder what it tastes like now. Now I'm gonna have to buy a more modern day Murray Hill and see how batch 18 compares. I'm gonna save the rest of my sample for that comparison.
Yeah, I got a good hat. I'm curious how that's. I actually want to score that. I'll enjoy this. But that's nice. Like the proof, obviously, it's 103, so it's not going to blow you away in proof. But the flavor, dude, and it's super viscous. Like this thing, I twirled it and it's sticking from up here and dropping down. Like the legs on this is crazy for such a low proof. Holy crap! Like it's super oily.
I think there is some light whiskey in there. I wonder if I'm remembering that right. If it's some MGP bourbon mixed with some MGP light whiskey. Let me know in chat if I'm right on that as far as the Murray Hill Club and what these are. Are these blends of light whiskey and bourbon? Curious there. I think it is called whiskey on the label as well. I don't think it's called bourbon, but
I've seen them, but never, like I said, never owned one, never grabbed one. Not too sure. Like I wouldn't immediately think light whiskey on this. I would think just straight bourbon to me. So if it is blended with light whiskey, Nancy did a hell of a job because I don't taste that. To be honest, like it just tastes like a bourbon to me.
It tastes old and dense, but there's also like this light brightness to it. I think that's what I'm kind of honing in on. And there's a bunch of sweetness there too.
Little old fashioned.
Oh man.
Cheers to you. Hopefully
that
everyone
is lovely
is doing
though.
well. Hey, Jason and Brandy, cheers.
Hey.
We were talking about the Foursquare, giving a bottle away. I know I introduced you two to it, and they kind of went down that rabbit hole. So trying to branch out and introduce a couple of the viewers to some Foursquare guys.
We'll be due to having you on here soon. We'll have to reach out here as we probably get into like April, May. We'll be in touch.
Oh man. Yeah, this is great.
Oh man. Speaking of rum, everybody, I know it'll be very limited, so we're just going to have to drop the link and let what happens happen. But we did collaborate with Vic and Dusty Dan and the Turks and picked a rum from Old Line. Now, unbeknownst to us when we picked it, there was only like 70-ish bottles. It ended up being a short barrel, which is probably why it tasted so dang good. So what we're going to do is just drop the links to everybody across those 4 groups all at once, and what happens, happens. That seemed to be the fairest way we can do it. They're going to be about $45. So keep an eye out. I'll send an official message on that one too once we get all of our details together, but that should be this Friday. And man, that rum, That's probably my second favorite rum next to Foursquare at this point. Like it's just all vanilla cream frosting to me. It's just so good.
It was so good. And the age too, like $45, guys. I think this stuff is like 13 years old, I believe. Finished for a couple years in their American single malt. And if you guys aren't American single malt fans, don't worry. It doesn't taste like American single malt, to be honest. It just carries a lot of nice, like Jeff said, like cake notes, like cake batter, vanilla. Just, it's good. Nice spice. Like the proof is up there too. It's probably 120 change. I'm not sure the particulars exactly, but really nice proof point. $45 for, anything that's double digits in age is a steal, right? And it's very limited. What's it say? Jason Cruitt, Murray Hill Club batch 18, undisclosed, most likely MGP, Dickel, or both. Doesn't taste like Dickel. If it is, holy crap, it's like good Dickel. A blend of 11 and 18-year-old bourbons and a 9-year-old light whiskey. Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little Dickel in there. Yeah, on the nose,
like minerality.
It's good though. No, I think that's like it's probably the older one, if that's the case. But I wouldn't call it. Maybe it just got implanted in my mind. It's not the minerality, but there is a little bit of that Dickel cherry leaning note that is on the nose.
This is great though. If you got Dickel, keep blending it like this, because I would never know.
I don't know what rubbed me the wrong way so many years ago. Thank you for giving me a second chance at that one, Doug. Now I got to go try a modern day one. All right. Who's distributing? Old Line is distributing the Old Line. So similar to Nashville Barrel Company that can do their own off of their website, Old Line's got like the same thing. So that's how that's going to go. I need to brush up, though, on the details if there's any states or anything like that, now that you say that out loud. I'm not sure of that explicitly to talk about it here, but I'll research that and I'll put the post in Patreon. If there are any states or anything like that, we can deal with that part of it later. But it will go directly through Old Line.
Got Stu saying Murray Hill does have the light whiskey in it. It's blended nicely, man, and sometimes that's tough. Like I know I try to blend light whiskey into a lot of things, and you definitely usually taste it. You can mask it a bit depending on what's in it, but to have something that's non-finished mixed with light whiskey and not taste like whiskey or light whiskey is actually pretty impressive, because I've masked it with finished whiskeys because it's like it kind of takes over sometimes. But
we used to use it to proof up our blends too. I remember that. We used to put a little bit of like a high proof, if you had like a 130 plus, put it in the blend to proof it up a little bit or add some viscousness to it.
So that's what I did with my blend last year. It was lacking a little proof, and the flavors I thought were nice, but I was like, I know how Jason is. You need something that's typically like 120 plus in proof for it to hang with some of the stuff that everybody sends. And mine was lower, and I was like, shit, what am I going to do that's not going to really take away too much from the flavor? And that's why that old Carter came into play, because that thing was like 139 or 138 proof. I was like, that should help get it to where I need it proof wise. So that decision I kind of worked out, which is nice. But yeah, I was pretty conscious of that this year.
Well, let's pour one more, Durell.
Okay.
And we're going to get into this one next, everybody. So the Crittendon's Cut Above. This is a single barrel. It's a 6th year. Someone gifted this bottle to the channel, also asked to be anonymous on that too. But thank you. Sorry it took us so long to get to this, but we do really, really appreciate it. We've been waiting for the right time to get into these and fit the theme perfectly. So we're going to get into this one for tonight. Now, I am not too familiar with this brand. I know the Cut Above, people have done picks with them. I think Cam has actually recently been there for picks too. Yeah, I think he did a rye as well. So we're going to get into the bourbon here. Now, on this one, sampled this one initially when I divided this up between Kelsey, Durell, and I, but we haven't explored it since. So that was probably 3 months ago.
I haven't even tried this one. I thought I sampled this.
Oh, you haven't tried that one yet. And it was, you lost one that night. That night that we did that, you were like, which 6th year are you getting into? And you couldn't find the second one.
maybe the other one. So this might have been the one that because this literally just fresh cracked over the parafilm.
So let us know in chat if you've had these Cut Aboves or Crittendons, what you think of them. Looks like Tom Shanley's a fan, but curious on this brand in general. If you're unfamiliar with it, there's actually some good stats here. First off, it's coming. Oh shoot, I think it's coming out of. Did we say it was Alabama? Where do we go here?
No, not Alabama.
No, Missouri. Where are we here? MS. MS is the DSP. That's Missouri, right?
Missouri, yeah.
So coming out of Missouri, and I think it's got the mash bill on here. Okay, so it's 71% corn. 17% wheat. So we got another wheater here. And 12% barley.
71, 17, 12?
Yep.
Okay.
And this is a 117.6 proof and 6 years old.
We're getting corrected.
Mississippi. There we go.
Abbreviations.
There we go. I know, man.
So what's Missouri? MO, I think. Right?
Yeah, you're right there.
I think Missouri's MO. Oh, shit, yeah. There goes Richie Z saying it.
Man, always a lovely thing about being live. You got plenty of people to correct you.
Yeah, there you go. Let us know if they're wrong. Shit.
All right. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers to you. And I actually got the blend you had last time.
There you go. Oh, now I'm getting into the
bourbon jerk.
Yeah. I love this blend, man. This is a good one.
Need one of those, Colin. Shoot. I have to reach out. Gotta catch them all. Get all these Glens and challenge coins.
Man, very caramel and even like toffee forward for me on this one.
I got like a dark berry now. Interesting. Literally like a spicy blackberry.
Gosh, I'm not getting any too much fruit yet. My mind keeps going to oh gosh, what is it called? It's the bark that you make in the oven, and then you hit it with a hammer and make all these misshaped pieces. Not bark. Oh gosh.
Not like a peanut brittle, right? When you like break it
brittle.
Up.
Yes, a brittle. Or like a caramel brittle type of a thing. Thank you. There we go. Jeez.
This nose is actually pretty nice too.
Yeah, the nose comes off really, really inviting. I'd say for 6 years, it smells its age. Like it doesn't have any youthfulness to me, but again, no overtly oak notes either. So happy about that.
Oh, that's the turkey. Where's the other glass?
Getting kind of like an artificial vanilla there too. I'm trying to
whiskey.
Think on that one.
That's the Murray. Okay. Oh, it's nice though. Yeah. It's another one that's pretty sticky to the glass, man. Like everything that we poured so far has had like some long legs.
Yeah, it's been pretty rich tonight. Well, let's see how this one does on the palate here. All right, cheers.
For a taste.
Okay. Yeah.
That's still in that realm of. I'm gonna send you that bottle. That Lost Lantern.
Oh, you're still thinking of that. What was that? Lost to Mississippi or Mississippi Ghost or something like that. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's where this conversation started because you were wondering if the Crittendons was that Lost Lantern. But that Lost Lantern was something defunct that everybody then clarified when you reviewed it.
So that's Mississippi too, though, right?
It was Mississippi, though. Yeah, you were getting vibes.
Mississippi or Missouri? Sorry.
Mississippi. I've confused everything. Mississippi.
Yeah. There's some very, very big similarities between that bottle and a couple of these. One that we tasted before, I can't remember which one that immediately made me think that, but this just brought me right down that same rabbit hole.
I'm still sitting there with like rich caramel and still thinking brittle, like the type of density of flavors that's in a brittle. When it first hits your tongue and it like takes a while to break down because it's just so hard and dense, and it kind of sits there and then slowly dissipates before you can finally chew into it.
Do you get any citrus?
Vibe.
I would say actually, sorry, not so much on the palate. On the nose for me, I get like some citrus towards the back end of it.
If I were to say, even on the palate, if I were to say a fruit's there, I wouldn't go the berry. I would go leaning towards even an orange, more so than a berry. But the fruit aspect of it isn't something that would jump out at me at first. That's pretty good.
I don't mind that at all. I like the mid and the finish on this. The nose is nice, but the mid and the finish is where the magic happens for me on the mouthfeel. But yeah, I'm getting like a bright, like citrusy note now, like on the palate, like the tail end of it. Not so much on the front at all. But yeah, it's just sitting there lingering. Slight bitter note on the tail end as well, but the flavor is kind of outshine that bitterness for me.
Man, doesn't really come across as a wheater either. That's 2 wheaters back to back. Yeah, it's a wheater. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you said 17%.
27. Yeah, 17% wheat. Yeah, there we go. 17%.
Yeah, I wouldn't. And the other was rye or malted barley?
Malted barley, 12%.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't have thought.
I think I'd be more interested to try it as it gets older. Like I still don't know. I have to look up how much these are, but it's more leaning towards something I'm interested in exploring later than something I would double down on right now. But it's definitely got my attention a little bit more so than off some of the first impressions that we had too. So that's actually a pretty good little tasting there. So thank you for the bottle, buddy. If you're here, we appreciate it. And we will continue to explore it. And I'll have to score that one later too. So now I got 3 things to score.
So you got all your super chats tracked up, Jeff?
So super chats, everybody. We'll cut those off now. Thank you so much, everybody, for the super chats here tonight, and excited to get this rum into somebody's hands. And I really hope it gets into somebody's hands that's never really doubled down on Foursquare before. Oh, sneaking it in. All right. That's the last one. That's the last one. Thank you, buddy. Really appreciate it. But if this does get into somebody's hands that hasn't tried it before, do apologize in advance here. All right.
This is good. I don't think we had anything bad today.
I'm going to double check this wheel here, Durell. And then as I'm doing that, Durell, why don't you preview again for those that are not aware of what's going on here in the next 2 hours.
The next 2 hours, I'm going to be like on the edge of my seat, guys. As you can see, my TV's kind of in the background playing you guys or playing us right now. I'll be watching the Mash and Drum. Jason, probably taste through some whiskey first and go into the second half of the semifinals, man, for Blendageddon. I know me, myself, Adam Dorman, Wise Guy Stu. I'm not sure who else. I want to say there's probably 5 of us going in. So there's 2 people that I am missing. I apologize, but I know of us 3. Kind of battling it out to see who can kind of make it to the finals, which I'm not sure if it's next week. There's usually a break in between with Jason, so maybe it's a couple weeks out for the finals to coordinate with like the giveaways that he usually does. But yeah, man, I'm going to be like right on the edge of my seat hoping that I make the finals again. If not, hey, there's always next year. But I'm like, this close, guys, this close. It's like the Eagles in the NFC Championship. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see. What did Mark say over here? Watching Durell's reflection in the mirror over his shoulder is half the fun. I know, right? You can see me. Well, actually, I'm pointing that way, but it's over there. Kind of this way. There you go. I'm like backwards on the camera. But yeah, you can see my TV hanging on the wall over there, playing, so I can kind of read comments and stuff.
All right, I hit a wrong button and I lost my wheel, so I got to redo it real quick here. Sorry, everybody, for the delay. But as we go through this and I get this kind of resettled here, one other thing, Durell, describe to everybody who hasn't been in the Blendageddon, what is it like watching Blendageddon? What are you doing the entire time?
Dude, wait, you said, what am I doing the entire time with what? Sorry.
Like while you're watching it, what's going through your head as you're watching each
I'll tell you this. I have yet to call out my blend in any Blendageddon. I've been the most wrong I could be with thinking I know what they were drinking because of the notes. And I'm like, oh, that sounds like mine. Like me and Stu got into this, I think, the first week that we went this year, or it might have been last year, but we were like, oh yeah, mine is yours and yours is mine. Like those are the identical notes because we both had each other's blinds or are both of each other's blends. And we were like, yes, this is exactly what I tasted on yours. This is exactly what I tasted on yours. And we were the complete opposite. Like we were both wrong. It was like they were flip-flopped. So what I thought was mine was his, and what he thought was his was mine. Like it was kind of crazy. But yeah, I've yet to be right, man, even with what I thought were the same taste and notes. So I tell this to everybody: when you think you know what yours is, just disregard that, like literally, because unless you've been right, I just know I haven't been. And that's what makes it a little bit worse, right? Like you're thinking maybe yours got eliminated because it was a similar notes that you got, and you're like, oh crap, and it's kind of like a happy surprise when you find that you're still in, man. So like you get like a whirlwind, man. Like you go up here, you go down here, you go back up here. It's like going from 0 to 100, 5 different times during these sessions that Jay does, man. But it's fun. It's definitely fun. And a little nerve-wracking.
That is the part that always cracks me up because we text each other the entire time. Like, this is my blind. B is definitely mine. And then it's always like C or D. Like, I'm out. I can't believe I'm out. And then like sometimes you're in.
Yeah.
So you never know until you know. And we talk about that all the time. It's the things around it too. So even if you think you know your flavor profile, you have no idea what the flavor profile is in comparison to everything else it's up against that night.
This is true.
All right. I did it. Sorry about that delay, everybody. I had to retype all those, but let's do it. Let's do some Foursquare rum. The 2005 too. So this came out in 2017. So this is practically dusty rum here. We're pretty darn close.
8-year-old or 8 years ago. Cheers, Ben. Not sure when you popped in, but see you commenting now.
Hey, Ben. No, I hadn't seen Ben yet. Cheers, buddy. So, all right, Durell.
0. Spin it.
0. What? How many points did the Chiefs score?
0 through 3 quarters.
All right, everybody. He's telling me to do it 0 times, so don't blame me. It's random either way, is what they say.
It is random.
Spinning it. I got to abide by the Eagles fan here.
Hey, who's it gonna be?
All right, right at the end.
Oh, GT Bob.
Here's Doug.
Nice.
All
nice.
Right.
Cheers, buddy.
Very, very nice. Congratulations, buddy. And thank you to everybody who contributed tonight. We really appreciate it. And then let us know what you think of this particular batch here, Doug. The 2005 Foursquare. So before we let everyone go, what was your favorite pour of the 3 we had tonight? the Whiskey Tree, the Murray Hill Club, and the Crittendons.
Oh, it's that dang Murray Hill, man. I just literally finished the rest of it. I was like, oh, yep, that's what that was. That's really good. Like, to put it in order, though, I would say Murray Hill Club. I may actually like. I don't know. I can kind of flip flop the Whiskey Tree in a Cut Above. I may give the Whiskey Tree second because I think I like the nose just a little bit more. So I would go Murray Hill, Whiskey Tree, then Cut Above. But that Cut Above was nice, man. Like I didn't know what to expect really. I haven't had this one. Yeah. It was a fresh crack for me, but not disappointed in that pour. So I'll take that.
I'll give second place to the Cut Above. So we'll come in even there. I do think maybe it's because of the proof, but it just had a bit more flavor punch to it. And I just kind of latched to that. As I said, I described it as that brittle, which is just nice and dense.
Yeah.
And then one last plug. So need the links and everything, Vic. But this Friday, we do think we'll be dropping the Old Line rum, the Case 1 rum. So keep a lookout for that if you're in the Patreon. We'll drop that link to everybody at the same time, though. So unlike other ones, it won't be by tier. We'll just announce the time and drop it. So that's just about as fair as we can make it for all the different groups. So be quick, $45 for cast strength rum. Tastes like amazing vanilla frosting straight out of the can, at least to me.
Yeah, if it makes it out the first day, I'll be really surprised. Like, it is a rum, so maybe it makes it out the first day, but it's damn good, guys. And it's $45, right? Like, what do you say? You think Old Line will hold and save ship and be ordered with 210? You may have to probably reach out to them, Mark, and see. Like, I don't think we have any control on that right now because they're doing all that independently.
Yeah. But if you bought one, reach out, do what you got to do. I don't know if 210 sold out.
They did.
They did. I mean, it's only $45. It should have. Yeah.
I think an email. So they're sold out. And I think they had a bigger yield, man. And I think we actually tasted that sample. I think that was part of the stuff that we had. So
it was.
Yeah.
It was in there. And of course we chose the short barrel. But thank you, everybody. Time to head over to Jason's and root on Durell here so that we can see
root on everybody. Make it fair.
Also got Stu. Also got Adam Dorman. I mean, it's going to be an interesting final group here. I don't think I know who Miro is, but Adam Henson is also the one in the Hail Mary bracket or the second chance bracket, whatever Jason's calling that. So it's definitely shaping up to be a very, very interesting finals, especially after tonight, if some of our closer whiskey friends do make it. We'll see. All right, buddy. Good luck. Don't give yourself an ulcer.
No. Gonna eat, chill, relax, and hopefully see if I make it through.
All right. So head over to Jason's, tell him we sent you. We'll catch you on the next Whiskey Wednesday, implying that Airbnb has some internet signal. Goodbye, everybody.
Cheers, everybody.